first day back for Cubs.
Not the best night for Boogie's former team. Anthony Davis, a regular night at the office for him.
Ooh, good hustle.
27.7 rebounds. But the problem with this New Orleans Pelicans team, defense. It's optional. And by optional, I mean it's a turf alert. Huge second quarter for Jake Layman. Say what?
What?
Ooh.
Wait a minute, I didn't know he had hops too.
Yeah, oh, he does. And it's easy when you're on a fast break and no one stops the ball.
I knew he could stop and pop. I knew he could do that.
Isn't that the #1 rule in transition? Stop ball.
Oh,
alley-oop for the dunk,
too? I didn't see that at Maryland.
Jake Layman.
I saw that right there. That's what I saw. Look at the bench. That's what I saw. That's the bench saying, come on, Jake, shoot like that every night.
Second half, more suspect defense from the Pelicans. Damian Lillard taking advantage. Yusef Nurkic, 15, 12, and 5 assists. And Portland builds a 21-point lead. Pelicans can score. Nikola Mirotic trying to bring them back.
Yes. Big fella's been shooting the ball pretty well all season long outside that little ankle injury he had there, a foot injury he had.
But for Portland, just everyone deciding they want to score at any point. 20 points for C.J. McCollum, Booze.
Nice little bounce right in. I got the home bounce right there. Great shot.
Terry Stotts and his squad, they get their 300th win. He's as Portland head coach for Terry Stotts. He's one of 4 coaches with 300-plus wins with their current team, so congratulations to him. And the Portland Trailblazers with the 128-112. OKC this week. We're going to see some talented guards in that one. Cover starts at 7:30 with the Auto Trader pregame show. Brooklyn and Orlando, 2 teams fighting in the East. By fighting, I mean Brooklyn ahead of that. Aaron Gordon taking flight.
Oh, man.
The problem is Aaron Gordon left the game due to lower back tightness. But Mo Bamba, his game's the same that's tight.
He's getting better. Each game getting better and better. D-Load, I see you.
I mean, you say getting better and better. D'Angelo Russell.
He's getting refocused.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's getting refocused, Chris.
That looked like a focused face right there.
Yes.
So Nikola Vucevic going to work inside, tying the game at 113, 30 seconds to go. D'Angelo Russell, focused.
The step back.
Ice more in his vein, there it is.
Yeah.
Ice more in his veins.
You got to have your own thing, right?
That's right.
Evan Fournier looking to match on the other end.
Okay,
pass it to Fournier.
Champagne.
Oh, no.
That champagne don't taste good.
Nope. Nets have now won 7 of their last 9. They're in 6th place in the Eastern Conference. Kenny Atkinson.
Getting it done.
Doing his thing.
Getting it done.
Miami, Detroit. 2 more teams in the mix.
Must see BG's back.
Trying to make that playoff push out east. And there's a theme because Andre Drummond also coming out of this game.
See, that's why I don't go down low too often, Chris. That don't happen to me too often. I'm not normally down there. You see what I mean?
You're here with us now.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Oh, my goodness.
You're too pretty for that.
Oh, man.
Blake Griffin going to have to carry the load. Booze. He's been doing that all season, and it's working out.
Man, playing great. Can handle the ball. You see him there with a step-back 3. Shooting a good clip from the three-point line this year.
32 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist shy of a triple-double. Dwayne Wade, though, answering on the other end, gives Miami the lead in the 4th quarter.
Flash letting us know spin cycle, a little bit left in the tank, Flash.
20 points, 8 assists. We got a 3-point game with 11 seconds to go. Wade gonna get the look.
A little off balance, kind of forced a little bit.
So the Detroit Pistons get the win 98-93, despite the very good game from Dwayne Wade, but the excellent performance from Blake Griffin. Cleveland, Utah. And we're going to say this was a practice session for the Jazz.
Practice.
Donovan Mitchell, he's happy, Booze. You know why? Because he's going to get his numbers early and often.
Yeah, he was playing terrific. You see him going up to the big fella Gobert right there. This one would be a blowout.
And then Mitchell saying, okay, I got to get my numbers quick because he didn't stay on the floor long.
Oh, well, you saw Channing Frye was getting ready to rotate. Well, look at Channing. Oh, never mind. Make this a business decision. That's the dunk champ.
And by stay on the floor, I mean elevate and then get all the points that he needed. Donovan Mitchell, 24 in just 26 minutes. And then Rudy Gobert, another high percentage, easy bucket. And that deficit just elevating for Cleveland.
Well, you know, Bulls kind of teased you a little bit earlier and said this was a blowout.
87-53 at this point. Grace Allen like, hey, where'd he go to school?
Dookie! Oh, Lord.
Kevin Love's like, oh, man. So Utah gets the win 115-99, and this wasn't even that close.
No, I thought Rodney Hood and Alec Burks would bring a little bit more, knowing they used to play for Utah, you know, drafted by them, but not tonight.
So getting back to the Brooklyn Nets and seeing what they're doing under the tutelage of one Kenny Atkinson, it seems as if they've turned the corner. I mean, 24 wins so far this year. They're approaching how much they had the entire season last year and more than the 2 previous seasons before that. They're rolling.
They've been turning the corner, Chris, and stay with me. Now they've kind of turned the bend, if you will, where now they're not giving games back. Remember early in the season, Bulls, where they were giving away 10, 15, 19-point leads. Now Kenny Atkinson has stayed the course and stayed with his guys and kept believing in them. Jared Allen, all the block shots we've seen from the defensive end. Dinwiddie now, you know, getting the new contract, he's playing great. Right. And, of course, our boy Angelo Russell got ice water in his veins. Just happy to see him playing good basketball.
Yeah, no, exactly. The thing about it with them, they're doing a good job of winning the close games. That's what I'm impressed with. That's why you got them in the playoff picture right now. They got a couple guys playing terrific. Their guards have been playing terrific all season. Allen's been doing a good job of anchoring the rim, but they're winning the close games, and that's why they're having the success that they're having.
Yeah, to that point, 9-5 this year in games decided by 3 points or less, and that's something we've seen in the previous seasons. They fight tough, but lose those games. They're finding out ways to win this year. We had some nominees for Courtside Certified. Stay Coogee down to the socks. We see Boogie coming in. That's up next on Game Time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Boogie.
Going to the rack. How serious was that move?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Boogie.
Man, oh man, I can take a few more of those.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Boogie.
And Boogie hammers it on the run.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Boogie.
Somebody woke up Boogie. Well timed.
You watch DeMarcus Cousins play, you see all the talent, you see the numbers. Not too many big guys at his size is that agile, that mobile, can shoot the three, put the ball on the floor, get to the basket.
He could be the best big man in the NBA. He got so much physical talent.
Boogie for 3. Unbelievable. Left going to the rim and dunked it on a wind-up right-hand finish.
And DeMarcus Cousins can't go. He's holding that left lower leg area in the area of his Achilles.
It's one of the most unique free agent situations we've seen in a lot of years.
I'm a warrior.
In gigantic news, DeMarcus Cousins has agreed to a 1-year, $5.3 million deal with the defending champion Golden State Warriors.
No dropping me to the ground, 'cause it's going down undefeated.
Apparently nobody else wanted DeMarcus Cousins. He didn't get one single offer.
Well, my main goal is to win a championship. That's what I'm signing up for.
When the injury happened, he's getting ready to sign a near max contract. So think about that.
Look at the work Boogie has put in just to come back. Think about the work ethic it takes to get all the way back physically from where he was.
I'm improving each and every day. I'm getting strong each and every day. And, it's just a matter of time before I'm back on the floor.
We're definitely excited to have him. He's been working hard. It's been a long year for him.
I'm looking forward to just seeing him out on the floor, just doing something that he loves again.
He can shoot, he can space the floor, he can do it all. He's a monster on the boards. He's going to be great.
It'll be a lot of emotion, honestly. I don't think anybody could ever really understand this, and I don't really expect them to unless they've experienced themselves.
This is something that other teams have never had to worry about with Golden State. They can now actually produce offense from the inside out with a true big.
Maybe Boogie is the wrinkle in the injection of energy that this Warriors team is really looking for this season.
I'm excited to see what we look like when once DeMarcus gets his feet underneath him. I think we got a chance to be really good.
Undefeated.
The Golden State Warriors will bring out the 66 starting lineup of the Steve Kerr era tonight. This one happens to include 5 All-Stars with the addition of DeMarcus Cousins, who is set to make his season debut tonight for the Dubs in a starting lineup in L.A. against the Clippers. That's where they begin a 5-game road trip, and that's where we find Sean Powell from NBA.com. Sean, good to see you as always. Expectations tonight for minutes, not only in terms of how many, but how they're doled out for Cuz.
I think everything is going to be tempered. Obviously, you're coming off a major injury. You missed training camp, first 2.5 months of the season. Steve Kerr says he doesn't really have minutes restrictions, but DeMarcus Cousins says, hey, I'm going to be out there for 30 minutes. So I think it's one of those things where they're just going to just see how he holds up, see if he can get into the flow. And I think there's going to be a lot of communication between DeMarcus and Steve as far as when to pull.
Sean, how much of this night is about DeMarcus Cousins finding his own rhythm, and how much of it is about him finding the right rhythm with this group in terms of just looking comfortable, not putting up numbers, but looking like he fits?
I think it's actually a little bit of both. You have to understand that the Warriors in the Steve Kerr era never really had a big man who could score. Not that they really wanted Andrew Bogut to score, JaVale McGee, or Zaza, but DeMarcus provides a twist. And this is a guy who, before he got hurt last year, averaged 25 points. For his career, he's averaging right around 22, 23 points. So he can score. So now the trick for the Warriors is, how do we fit this new dynamic into our flow? A lot will depend on how well DeMarcus Cousins plays. But, in the past, their centers were on the bench last 2 minutes of a tight game. Now that DeMarcus Cousins plays well, their center will be on the floor, and we'll see how it all works. They have a few months to work it out to see, going into the playoffs, how this is all going to fit.
Sean, before we came on, we had some of your video from shoot-around today, and other than the fact that it looked like it was shot on a flip phone, I thought it was really, really good stuff with Steve and DeMarcus. But what are Draymond and Kevin Durant saying right now about this coming back? And what's their mindset in terms of taking on the experiment when they've just kind of figured themselves out?
Well, first of all, Draymond and Kevin Durant are thrilled DeMarcus is coming back in this game, because the last time they were here at the, at the Staples Center, Draymond and Kevin Durant got into it. So now everybody's talking about, this DeMarcus Cousins first game, and not what happened the last time they were here. But I think everybody's excited. Everyone's saying all the right things, and they're very enthusiastic about what DeMarcus Cousins can bring, and also about his fitness, at least in practice to this point.
Sean, Cuz is healthy enough to play tonight. Obviously, they believe he's well enough to get back into an NBA flow, but that doesn't necessarily mean he'll be all-star Cuz anytime soon. Considering how unpredictable the history for recovery of this particular injury is, does the team really have any idea how close he'll be to the player he was a year ago?
No, they don't. And this is a guy, by the way, who weighs a listed 270 pounds. No big man obviously has come back from this injury and been very good. I know Elton Brand had it. He was okay when he came back, but even he said he wasn't the same player. This is all new territory for everybody involved, for DeMarcus, for the Warriors, for everybody who's watching, to see if a big man can come back. Now, the other thing is DeMarcus going to play from rim to rim, an interior presence defensively, and also get low post points? Well, that's a lot of running up and down, as opposed to a player who would probably play roughly around the perimeter. So, look, there are a lot of questions here, and tonight's not going to answer those questions. Maybe next week. It's all an evolution. As Steve Kerr says, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We want to see how this plays out.
It's going to be fascinating. Sean Powell with us. And Sean, we appreciate after you put down the flip phone from shooting that video that you answered your pager when we called to you so you could come on and talk to us.
I'm not going to put up with too much more than speaking on my guy like that. I'm not going to do it.
We'll talk to you soon. All right, see you, Sean. This is going to be really interesting tonight.
You know what? And I think Sean raised a great point about the fact that no matter what the external expectation is and how much we try and grade this on a quarter-by-quarter basis, internally, the Warriors know exactly what they're dealing with. Think about the time Steph and KD have missed the past couple of years. Draymond now this season. They've had to adjust and incorporate somebody into the mix. Now, granted, this is the first time they'll have to do it with somebody who has not yet played with this group.
Right.
That's new. But the idea that they understand the measured tone you have to take in these situations gives me a good feeling about what Steve Kerr and his guys are doing. They wouldn't throw him out there if there was any hope of anything other than a smooth transition for Boogie Cousins.
Well, and we talked about it before the show, too. Some people have likened this to a midseason trade, where they have a big advantage over anyone who acquired a player like this midseason is Boogie's had the whole year to get to know all of them on a human level. They've gotten a whole year to start to trust and understand what he's all about. So they're ahead of the curve in terms of introducing him. But let's not kid ourselves. This is going to be a lot of upheaval in the lineup. There's a reason KD went for 51 when Steph Curry was out. Enough mouths to feed over time can be a problem until they all decide that they're willing to sacrifice to the level they need to.
It's also a lot easier to get along when the most volatile guy, the biggest personality on the roster, is on the sideline in a suit, right? It'll be really interesting to see what happens when he's on the floor.
I think Draymond would take offense to that. I mean, Draymond would dispute that anybody could own that title over him.
It's neck and neck.
He at least wants to stay on.
But at least with Draymond,
get thrown out of a game this season in which he was not participating.
Exactly.
At least with Draymond, you go, oh, that's just Draymond. They're used to it, right? I mean, that's been his role, to be sort of their dirt worker, their nasty, right? He's supposed to be their edge.
Right.
So now they have two guys that bring edge, and it'll be really interesting to see what happens when they're thrown into a situation where it's a highly competitive moment.
Cousins' debut tonight as the Warriors start their 5-game road trip in L.A. against the L.A. Clippers. Back with more here from Atlanta after